Hello and welcome to Talking Wrestling with Pondwater Dave. I am Justin Davis, and as always, I'm joined by the First Lady of the Arn Anderson Fan Club, Miss Amy Vaughn, and the man who counted Ric Flair's last match, Mr. Pondwater Dave Miller. What's going on, guys?
How y'all doing?
Fabulous.
I'm excited for this show. I think this is going to be fun.
I am too.
Definitely.
We got a big time guest tonight, y'all.
That's right. I hope you all are here joining us here in the chat. I see Terry Weaver's joined us. What's up, guys? Thanks for being here.
If Timothy Norwood has logged on, I'd like to
Timothy Norwood
apologize
is-
to him for whatever messages he got from our YouTube.
He's barking
was-
at YouTube right now.
Yeah,
Instead of
congratulations, Timothy. You're the first person that's been banned and removed. Just because we don't want to bother you any further.
Yeah.
Right. What in the world could we have possibly, why are you on my phone? I don't know.
It was
We
all
weren't
Amy.
there. Oh, no. Well, it could have been because I'm very
Send your
technologically
hate
challenged.
tweets
So.
to at AmyRD_24 at Twitter.
Oh, no, don't do that.
But hey, let's without further ado. At this time, let's welcome in the BIW Southern Heritage Champion, leader of the Yeet Nation. Can I get 2 claps and a yeet yeet for our guest tonight, Mr. Rey Fury?
Yay!
Fury, how's it going, man?
Man, Dave, Amy, thank you guys for having me on. I much more appreciate it. It's an honor.
Well, we're glad to have you here. We were just on a show this past weekend. Had an event at Summerall High School.
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And after seeing the footage, I owe you an apology because I did not see that man had your tights.
And you still came on. We really appreciate that, Ray.
Yeah.
After he screwed you out of a win.
Hey, I didn't pull his tights.
Look. I didn't want you guys to pay for something he did wrong. So I didn't think that'd be fair. But next time, open your eyes, Dave. All right, you got
All
my
right.
trench. All right.
I may have to figure out a way to referee in my glasses. Want to welcome everybody in the chat here tonight. Coach Keith Morrison, T Weave, Mark Buffalo. Look at there, Monty Warbucks is in the chat.
Oh,
Hey, Jason. Mike Bober. Next week it's your turn, Bober.
Monty. Shout out to Monty. Love you, boy.
Monty Warbucks is a wrestler here in Mississippi too.
Oh, cool.
25 year veteran.
He's getting close to Mike Jackson's record, right?
No, he's not that close yet. I said 25, not 45.
I had my numbers inverted. 52, 25. What's the difference, right?
Yeah.
No.
Hey, before we get started, unfortunately, we had some bad news come down in the last couple of hours. We've lost Terry Funk at the age of 79.
Oh man.
This picture on the bottom of that I met Terry Funk in 2005. I got my picture taken with him with my NWA belts and we just a really, really nice man. Got to spend a little bit of time with him. And this group picture on the bottom right, if you're watching us on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, or Twitter, or X, whatever you want to call it now, you got Jack Briscoe, Mick Foley, Kevin Von Erich, Harley Race, and Terry Funk. As I stood there, the camera malfunctioned. So the photographer was working to get it all situated, and I was listening to all these legends talk to each other. I'm just sitting there like a fly on the wall. And then Terry turned and looked at Kevin Von Erich, and he said, "Hey, Kevin, your father was the deciding vote that made me the NWA World Heavyweight Champion, and I will never forget what your family has done for me." And I thought, and that stuck with me. That's been 18 years now, so I thought that was just getting to spend some time with him and hear that story. And man, he's he was just such a nice man. It's so talented, and I mean, genuinely belongs on a Mount Rushmore of wrestling. When you think about it, I mean, over 50 years, and just a couple years ago he was still wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the night that I met him, he tag teamed with his brother Dory against America's Most Wanted, and they gave those boys all they wanted. I mean, those two young men, they knew they were in there with men that night. So, anyway,
What does your
God
just
bless
look at
him
that.
and his family.
You just look at that picture, and that is some of the toughest sons of bitches that's ever been in wrestling right there.
Well, the one
No
next to him,
kidding.
the toughest son of a bitch on God's green earth.
With the baseball tee, right?
Huh?
Yeah.
He's talking about you. He said in the baseball tee. Well, honestly, I don't think any of them have been shot in the head and lived. So, yes, I will agree with you, Ray. I think Davis definitely belongs in that, being one of the toughest son of guns that we know.
I'd rather have been shot than hit by any of those men in that picture.
I guarantee Harley's at least been stabbed.
Or has stabbed
Yeah,
someone.
maybe.
I see a broken bottle, and for some reason,
Oh yeah, he's busted a beer bottle or two.
yeah, definitely.
And
What
everybody
a
talks about
rumble.
The Rock being the best wrestler turned actor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's made more money than anybody else in Hollywood. But go watch Terry Funk when he acts. Paradise Alley and Roadhouse. You don't think that's Terry Funk acting like no? Terry Funk was a good actor.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not down in The Rock. But when do you look at The Rock and not think that's The Rock? I mean, that's The
Right.
Rock playing Black Adam. That's The Rock in Fast and Furious.
Hey, that's a good point. I never looked at it that way.
I mean, he's always The Rock.
Right.
I mean, his presence is large. But I'm just talking about as far as actors go. Terry Funk and Jesse Ventura were great actors in Hollywood.
Mm-hmm.
So,
They are having quite the Royal Rumble tonight, right?
yes, they are.
Hell of a main event.
Definitely.
All right.
Yeah, Terry Funk. I watched a lot of him when I got a little bit older during his run in ECW.
Mm-hmm.
That's when I got much more familiar with him. A lot of the Southern wrestling, and I really didn't watch much of it. I just grew up on a lot of WWF, and then moving into ECW and then WCW, like Nitro. So
Yeah,
that's
I mean,
when
you
I
think
first
about
got
it.
introduced to him.
You think about it, a whole generation had no idea who he was except for what he'd done before ECW.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Ray and I being WWE kids, we didn't see him wrestle Ric Flair in '89, and
No.
Right.
yeah, him coming to the WWE in '98, I guess, was kind of our first introduction to him, other than ECW. There,
Yeah.
I've got a picture on my wall over there that's it's in a flyer for a Texas Stadium show. That it wasn't even world class; it was still big time wrestling. And Terry Funk defended the world heavyweight title against Fritz von Erich in Texas Stadium. So, and I've got that on my wall over there.
How old was he? How old was Terry Funk, you think, at that time?
That had to be 78. So do 22 plus 23 is 45, less 79, 30 something.
A young
that was
man
some
wrestling.
Mississippi math right there. Is what that was.
No kidding.
It was good. It would have really impressed me if I could have pulled it off.
No kidding.
Maybe
But
I
yeah.
should have just sold it like I knew what I was talking about, and then saw it and waited to see if anybody would have called me on it.
Yeah, just you could have said any number. We've been like, oh, cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that
Yeah,
sounds
he was
good.
30 something.
34,
34.
according to my math. Yes,
And you
and
are.
that's
a
West
teacher,
Virginia math. So I don't know if that's any better.
but you are a teacher, so we do hope that you have a little bit better math skills.
Yeah.
He teaches PE.
I don't know though. You
No.
that was
That gotta count for something.
rude.
Hey, you in the same boat, man.
That was rude, Pondwater.
I wish I taught PE. God, that'd be a lot easier than what I teach now.
All right. Well, it's time for trivia. All right, we're gonna play a little trivia. Amy puts it together.
Ooh.
It'll probably be based on. It'll tie into you some kind of way.
Okay.
It will. It will. And I will tell you this. Justin is the one who gave me this idea. So the title of it.
That's
Sorry.
a warning to all of our regular listeners right there.
We got a comment from Steve Starr that he saw Ric Flair versus Terry Funk in a Texas death match in the Omni in Atlanta, Georgia back in '89.
Wow.
Steve, who won?
Who won that, Steve?
Yeah, who won that, Steve?
Shout out to Steve Starr, man. Puts on a hell of a show. We was out there this weekend. That's where Dave didn't see the tights get pulled up in my match.
Oh, okay. We'll wait and see if Steve comes back. I love Mike Bober. That's hysterical.
I would guess that
Flair won, he said. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. So what we're going to do with trivia today is called Do You Know Your Rey? Okay. So this is all going to be about wrestlers either named Rey, went by Rey, something has to do with Rey. Okay.
it's a group effort, Fury. You're not on the spot.
Yes, I'm sorry. No. Darn it. We shouldn't have told them that quite yet. No. So a lot of them they're all fill in the blank, obviously, because. So as it says, I'm known as the Crippler or Blonde Bomber, and I excelled as both a singles and tag team competitor. Anybody have a guess?
Santa Pace, he was my tag team partner. Hey, Ray Steven.
Look at Justin. I am so impressed.
Go ahead. Stephanie, can you show all the clues? Can we do that? Oh, yes. Exactly. He, like I said, he was born in West Virginia, but he spent a lot of time in the Bay Area. He tag team gold with Pepper Gomez, Mike Graham, Greg Valentine, and Ivan Koloff, most notably, obviously, with Nick Bockwinkel and Pat Patterson, if you picked up on Justin's impression, with Bobby Heenan as a manager, and he passed away, unfortunately, in 1996.
A fantastic bumper, Ray Stevens.
One of Ric Flair's favorites, and he always had his spots like Flair did that he got in, and if he didn't do them, Flair would be upset as a kid that he didn't do them. So that's why Flair always does the top rope, never being able to jump off, they get thrown. So Flair always played all the hits because of his fandom of Ray Stevens.
Wow.
And there's a video out where Stevens got tired of Bobby Heenan getting pushed around by the family and turned on him.
Mm-hmm.
All right, that's a good one.
He did. That was a good one.
Ray Stevens.
Man, Justin is on his game. I mean, he nailed the introductions tonight on time.
Yes.
He nailed that quick.
He nailed the introductions, and he got that.
Blind squirrel.
Just in case anybody wants to know, his name was Carl Raymond Stevens. That was that's his government name, right? Isn't that what they say? That's what is on his government name. All righty. Number 2, known to his family as David Everett Furrier. I spent my wrestling career in multiple promotions like Smoky Mountain Wrestling, WWF, WCW, ECW, and Championship Wrestling from Florida in the 1980s and 1990s. Anybody have a clue who this could be?
I do not.
David Everett Furrier.
David Everett Furrier. All right. How about the next one? We'll go to the next clue.
We're stumped.
Mm-hmm.
I was part of the $1 Million Team at Survivor Series 1994 and even had a WrestleMania match that same year.
Team.
Ooh, I did. I stopped everybody.
I think Jason in the chat got it.
Nope, he did not.
No, I don't think it's him. He wasn't in $1 Million Team.
Okay, go to the next question. After he retired from wrestling, he started his own hardwood flooring business.
Well, now I know.
You're so silly. Well, this next one, you will get it. Okay,
It's
last
Dax
clue.
Hardwood.
There we go.
That's a good guess. All right, last clue. I'm best known as
see,
one
Oh,
half
there's-
of
Jimmy Del
Yeah.
Rey.
Jimmy Del Rey.
Exactly.
I was
Del Rey.
thinking of the Heavenly Bodies.
I was
there
thinking first
early
name
on.
Ray.
When I saw Smoky Mountain Wrestling in WWE, my head went to them, but I couldn't think of his name for nothing.
Yes, he was Gigolo,
Jimmy
Jimmy
Del
Jimmy
Rey.
Del
Del
Rey.
Rey, and Dr. Tom Pritchard, who is one of my favorite people. As you know, he loves me too.
Yes, we
Just like,
know.
just like Arn loves me, Dr. Tom loves me too.
Yeah, there's three things that we can count on in life: that Jimmy Sorensen went to Japan, that I refereed Ric Flair's last match, and that Tom Pritchard likes you.
Yes, and don't forget Arn. Arn loves
that?
me.
Who's that? Who's
That's
that?
Arn.
Oh,
Arn.
who's that?
Ha ha ha.
You dropped
Don't
something there,
let
Amy.
them being mean. Anywho,
Jimmy
Next-
Del Rey.
next question.
All right.
Getting my start in Jim Crockett Promotions, I was a man of few words in and out of the ring.
Ooh.
Okay, next. Y'all want another
Next
clue?
one. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay, next clue. I joined UWF after Jim Crockett bought it and defeated the one-man gang to become the UWF heavyweight champion.
UWF heavyweight champion. I should know that.
It's Ray Traylor.
Ray Traylor. Okay.
Big Bubba Rogers.
That's right.
Big Bubba Rogers. All right, let's show them the rest of the clues.
T-Weave and Bober got it.
I try
Yeah.
not to pay any attention to them over there, especially Bober. What's the next clue?
It said he did not win heavyweight gold again, but he did win the WWF Tag Team Championships once, and he was the hardcore champion on 4 different occasions.
Mm-hmm.
He was billed from Cobb County, Georgia, and took inspiration from my previous job as a corrections officer for my gimmick.
And he was hung by the Undertaker.
I left that one out. I know. And he drug Big Show's dad's coffin.
Insane.
I just hit the highlights, but I
Yeah.
thought were highlights. But you're right. And Ray Traylor, Big Bubba Rogers, or Big Boss Man. So, all righty. All right, last one. No. I lied. There are 2 more. Sorry.
Oh, I start. Okay.
I started my professional wrestling career in 2005 and spent time in the Lucha Libre AAA Worldwide. Who do you think that is? Oh, yeah, I forgot, Coach. I left that one out, too.
Hmm.
We need
Pepper
another-
steak.
Next one. Next one.
Next clue.
Pepper steak still gets all over me.
God, that's so gross.
I
Ugh.
never have ate pepper steak since then and didn't think about that dog.
I won gold as a singles competitor and as a tag team partner in AAA, becoming their first Triple Crown champion. So I won the AAA Mega Championship, the AAA Latin American Championship, and their World Tag Team Championship.
I have an idea, but I don't know about those singles titles.
Well, you could say it if you want to guess.
Right out of the gate, I was thinking Rey Mysterio.
Yeah, but he
That
didn't
seems
start.
too easy.
He didn't start in 2005.
Right. I was thinking
Oh,
Quit looking at the chat.
at first I thought Ray Horace, and then I thought
got
Ray
it.
Phoenix.
Ray
because he-
Phoenix.
because of the tag team titles, but I didn't know if he won any singles titles.
Do you want to go to the next clue and let's see maybe what it
Yeah.
says? He was also the first Triple Crown champion in the Lucha Underground promotion.
so it wasn't Ray Phoenix?
It is Ray Phoenix.
Well, he said
Yeah.
Ray Phoenix.
Oh,
Well, he kept going back and forth. I was saying, do you want to try another clue, or just trying to don't ruin my fun? Okay, so
Ray Phoenix.
I'm a member of Death Triangle along with my brother. I won't do that. Penta L
Penta L
Zero.
Zero.
El
won't do it
cero miedo.
justice.
Yeah, what he said.
Metal, yes.
I got you. I got you, Amy. I'll take care
Thank
of that.
you, thank you. And he has won tag team gold in Impact, Pro Wrestling Guerrilla, MLW, AEW, and ROH. He is a machine when it comes to winning gold. But yes, he is. He's their first triple crown champion, and if I'm not mistaken, I think he's their only AAA triple crown champion, if I remember correctly. So
The 2005 threw me.
Yes, because I know he's been training since he was like 14 or something like that, like super young. So I was like, maybe that's when he made his pro debut, you know?
yes, that's when he made his professional wrestling career.
In my
Right.
mind, I was thinking 95, and I thought, did Mysterio started way before 95, though, didn't he?
Right. Is that the
Senior-
last one,
senior
Stephanie? That's okay. Oh
We
no,
got one more.
we do have one more. Okay.
One more, baby.
I spent most of my wrestling career in WCW in a tag team with my younger brother.
I already
Oh.
know it.
Stevie
I know
Ray,
it.
baby.
Hey, I was expecting Stephen Ray. I was waiting
All
for
right.
it.
Good job. Good job. I really thought Booker was older. I don't know why. But as you can see, he was part of NWO and he won the a TV championship. He did some color commentating for WCW Thunder after his in-ring retirement. And of course, in 2005, he opened a wrestling academy in Houston, Texas with his brother, Booker T. And he was inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame class of 2019 as a member of Harlem Heat. Now, just so we all know, his real name is Lash Stephen Huffman, aka Stevie Ray. So
Ray.
I really thank you so much, Justin, for that idea. I think that was fun finding some other great wrestlers to go with Ray, since we have Rey Fury here with us. I couldn't say about all his accolades because he would know just like that. I was talking about him.
My
So we
my
picked-
whole
picked
thought
some more.
process on Stevie Ray just changed now that I know his first name is Lash. I don't know why, but it just changed the way I look at him now.
Well, they actually started at the Sportatorium as GI Bros.
Wow, wow. Hey, you remember the flapjack?
Yes. Hey, I got a Rey Fury trivia question for you.
Oh, what's
Oh,
that?
okay.
Who was the referee that was in the ring and handed him his first championship belt?
Apparently, the guy that didn't see him having his tights held the other night.
You are correct. And speaking of belts,
Uh-oh. Here we
Ooh,
go.
that's nice.
Big time belts.
where's the sound? We're having technical difficulties.
It wouldn't be the talking wrestling with Pondwater Dave without a little bit of technical difficulty.
We're still young. We're working out those kinks.
I don't know.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Well,
Just-
anyways,
just
go
start
buy some
singing.
big time belts.
Do you need a wrestling belt? I've got a wrestling belt. I throw it over my shoulder. I walk around the house. I think I'm a badass. Ask my wife. She'll tell you. Sometimes I parade around the house with my house coat on. I'll walk up to her. I'll open it up. The belt's under there. And I say, baby, the champ is here. And the champ can be at your house too. It's not just for wrestling promotions. But what if you have a fantasy football team? That could be your prize at the end. Big Time Belts has you covered. Fantasy a belt for winning your fantasy league would be tremendous. What if you just want to get a belt made of your favorite sports team? Get a Dallas Cowboy belt. You could put the 5 Super Bowl trophies on the side plates. I'm eventually going to get a Dallas Stars belt myself, but Big Time Belts can take care of you on that. Maybe you need a sideline belt for your kids' football team or baseball team or basketball team. Big Time Belts can get that for you. If you're a wrestling promotion, Big Time Belts is putting belts all over the state of Mississippi. SWA, Battle Zone, BIW. I want maybe even AWA is getting them from Big Time Belts. Muhammad Zubair can take your belt dreams and make them a reality. high quality, low prices, big time belts is for you. Now, what you're saying, I know some of you guys are saying, Dave, I want a belt, but my wife will be so pissed. I'm here to tell you, fellas. I'm here to tell you. I got 75 of them. They get over it. They get over it. Trust me. And also, what if they do get pissed? It's football season. You know you want her to shut up for a little bit anyway. So if she don't speak to you for a few weeks, it's all the better.
Oh,
Am I right?
this
Can I get
commercial
an
just went
amen?
down the toilet.
Quality belts. High quality, low prices, big time belts. Find them on Facebook at Big Time Belts. If you need help locating them, if you need help designing your belt, reach out to me. I'd be glad to help you. And we'd like to thank Big Time Belts for sponsoring the pod.
Buy a belt, divorce your wife, and watch football. That's the lesson of that whole story, I think, that we got
I
out of
think
that.
75, and
Muhammad's
I'm 75, and we don't even fight.
I
What's
think
the
Muhammad's
secret?
going to make sure there's music next time. No.
I don't know what happened. I tested it before we started.
It's okay. It happens.
Hey,
We
hey
go with
David.
it.
In an alternate universe, I always thought I'd be a heel and walk around with my own custom belt. So I wouldn't need any title from any promotion, and I'll just walk around as my own damn champion.
He's pulling a $1 million man gimmick. He's creating his
yeah.
own belt.
You're
Big Time
way
Belts
too.
can make that happen, Ray.
That's right. Well,
In an,
hey,
in an alternate universe, it's not happening now, though.
I was going to say you're way too good, way too nice to be a heel. I don't even want to think about you being mean.
You could pull it off as a baby face. It's the People's Champion belt. You're the People's Champion.
Oh, true.
See?
True. Think
He
about
pretty
it that
much
way.
is. They love him.
Yes.
So
I was going to say, I got the experience of getting to see him in Vicksburg not too long ago. Isn't that crazy? It's been almost 2 months, I guess,
Almost
at this
2 months.
point.
That's insane. It felt like it was
And
yesterday.
now,
was it
I
July?
know. It was
July.
July 1st.
Yeah.
It was.
Yep.
And we had that's the first time I've actually got to see you in person, and I'm so happy I got to go. You are quite impressive.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you for even coming down and hanging out with us. That was awesome.
Man. You know who else thinks you're pretty awesome? Do you remember my niece that came with us?
Yes, I do.
Ellie. She will be listening to this podcast. I don't know if you want to give her. There she is. Oh, she's so cute with her little Yeet shirt. She loves that shirt. But
Hey,
yes,
Ellie, if you're watching, Ellie, I miss you, love you, hope you're doing well in school. Can't wait to see you again.
Oh yes, she didn't she, Dave? She's already asking. She wants to come back. So I mean, we're definitely going to be headed back down there. She's so cute. Look at her.
Well,
She had the time of her life.
well, it was her first time at the matches, and then she ends up in a restaurant and both him and Fury's there and Taven's there, and she's stressed out for 2 reasons. Because she's afraid they're going to fight in Waffle House.
Yes.
And then and she's not wearing a Matt Taven shirt.
No.
And it's not like she's off base. It wouldn't be the first fight in the Waffle House.
Exactly. She had just watched them climb the chairs and go all over the place and wrestle, and then we go eat. She's like, oh my gosh, they're both here.
Well, we just told her because the promoter was there, and we said that he'd find them if they fought in public. So
that's an awesome cover up. I love that.
We calmed her down a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, she did great though.
And then Taven gave her a hard time. Might have called her a Melvin.
He did, because she had that shirt and she got her picture taken with him, but she didn't want Matt Taven to see her in that shirt. She didn't want him to be mad. So then he came up to her at the Waffle House and was like, so I heard you had a Rey Fury shirt. She was just like, That was fun.
Well,
that was so much fun.
I met you at Pro Wrestling Ego.
Yes, sir.
In Jackson. But tell us when you got started and where you got started.
Yeah, so I did get started here in Mississippi, and I did break in through Pro Wrestling Ego.
Okay.
The story behind that was so I used to live in New York my whole life, born and raised. I moved down here. I ordered Domino's pizza, and when I went to pick up the box, there was a pro wrestling flyer on top of the box. It was taped on it. So I took that flyer and I stuck it to the dashboard of my car. I said, I am not missing this date. I cannot miss it. So when the day came, I got out of work, went to the venue, paid to get in, and that's when I discovered indie wrestling. And I talked to one guy, talked to another, came to the next show the next month. Oddly enough, I guess nobody was at the door, and I just walked right in. I didn't pay for a ticket. Don't tell anybody this, but yeah. And so I talked to some more people. I talked to some of the wrestlers, and that's when I met the promoter, Jay Andrews. And from there, the rest was history. They looked at me and said, he's 10, he's tall. We have nobody that we're training that looks like him. Let's bring him in. So they kind of showed me the ropes, and the rest was history from there.
So were you a natural? Like, did it feel right to you? Like,
Yes, it did. So during training, I was picking everything up so quickly. They started asking me, "Hey, did you train in New York?" I'm like, "No." They said, "You didn't do anything in New York. You were never in the ring." I'm like, "No." I don't know if they believed me or not. I just met them.
What year was that?
Man, I think this was about 7 years ago. And I want to say 16, something like that.
Was it that late?
Yeah. And there was, I don't know if they believe me or not, but I'm like, no, I never got in the ring. I never done anything, but everything came natural. Everything came easy. And I just thought it was because, I just watched wrestling my whole life, so
that's when I found them. I thought you'd been in for a while is why I asked you.
No. So I just felt like I kind of knew what placement was, what to do here, to do that, just from watching it so much,
How old were you back then when you first started?
26.
Okay.
27, around there. And I got into business late, man. My whole life in New York, I always wanted to be a wrestler. I always thought I was going to do that. I never thought I was going to be anything else. I didn't have any other career plan. So, but when I tried looking for schools, there weren't really much. There was one in New Jersey, which was Darren Young's. Remember from him from WWE? Yeah. And that was super far from me. I couldn't make that. And then they had Johnny Rods in Brooklyn, where the Dudleys trained at. And that was maybe 2 hours on the train. And I don't know, but I wasn't going to be committed to make that ride so often. So I just kind of almost gave up on it. And so when I got down here and I found the show, I was like, this is it. I can't squander this opportunity. I got to get in somehow, some way, So, I'm glad I made it work. It's blessed me. I got to see a lot of things on the road. I got to experience a lot that I wouldn't experience if I wasn't in the wrestling business. So, I'm still striving. Hopefully we can make this our end all be all,
Well, remember us whenever you're on TV and famous and everybody's yeeting at you. Remember the three of us down here, okay? You promise?
Always.
Was there
television is well aware of him.
Oh, yes, I know. But I'm just saying, whenever he gets so famous that when we go call, remember, you want to come talk to us? And he's like, now, who are y'all again? No. I got Oprah. I got the Today Show I got to go hit. I can't, I don't have time for y'all. No.
Oprah.
Was there anything? I don't know. Everybody goes on Oprah, right? Everybody wants to be on Oprah. Was there anything about the indies that maybe surprised you from all your years of watching wrestling? And then when you actually get to be part of it, was there anything that was like the backstage or anything like that? Was there anything like, I had no idea this is how it would be?
I gotta be careful how I answer this because I'm still a believer of kayfabe.
Got you.
But it's funny because my whole life I didn't know anything about the indies. Everything was just TV wrestling, So when I first got into business and I discovered indies, the first two guys I discovered was Davey Richards and Pac.
Yeah.
And I thought they were like God's gift to wrestling. I said, oh my God, these guys are phenomenal. You know what I mean? I was like, wow. I was a Shawn Michaels guy, but then watching these guys, I'm like, oh, Shawn Michaels doesn't hold the candle to Davey Richards. I was a huge Davey Richards fan. But once I got in, I was just taken back and just surprised with how I guess so much production that went into going into a show. You know, there was so many moving parts. It wasn't just from A to B. You know, the show's done and we go home. You know, there was so much that went into it. Every match, just the timing of everything, and just the production and the team that you need to build the ring and tear it back down. Just everything in general about it. And then I started learning more. It wasn't just about moves and wrestling and just putting on a good match. It did involve relationships behind the curtain. You know, so that's kind of something that I learned that, you know, was a big eye opener once I got into business.
Now, you said, obviously, when we know watching you that you picked up the physicality part of it pretty easy.
Mhm.
How was learning the psychology of a match? How did that process go for you?
Oh man, so that was the hardest part for me. Was actually the psychology part. You know, actually hitting the ropes, taking the bumps, learning moves. The selling, I feel like, came pretty natural to me. It was the psychology that was the toughest, and actually telling that story and making everything make sense. You know, not just doing things just to do them. And so that brings me to John Davis. Shout out to John Davis. He's part of Ring of Honor in the 90s, half of the Dark City Fight Club. He actually took me under the wing and he taught me a lot about psychology. And after kind of he explained it, broke a lot of things down to me. And I watched tape much more effectively after that. It definitely helped. And now I feel like it's one of my stronger suits when it comes to putting a match together.
Yeah.
So I'm very grateful for that. John Davis, I love you.
When you went back, shout out John Davis. I don't know if we're related. I hope so. That's my last name too.
You need to make it your homework this week is to go look for John Davis matches on
Okay.
John Davis, Vordell Walker.
Well,
John Davis, I think he wrestled O'Shea Edwards.
Uh-huh.
I mean, we're talking about matches that are registered on a Richter scale.
Now, you talked about obviously John Davis helping you there. When you went back and watched film, maybe of, you know, who were guys maybe that, you know, some of our listeners would know pretty well that you kind of picked some stuff up off of?
Obviously, you know, I'm a huge fan of Shawn Michaels. So once I was kind of smartened up to the wrestling business, I watched wrestling totally different. I could never watch wrestling in peace again.
Yeah.
Never. It's a gift and a curse. I'm like, man, I wish you didn't tell me this, but now that I know, this is the way I watch it now, you know? So it's so hard to just tune all that stuff out and just be a fan and enjoy a match, you know? So sometimes I get wrapped up in that just to seeing how other guys put things together. But Shawn Michaels was somebody I went back and watched, even Ric Flair, just to see how he put matches together. You know, Ricky Steamboat, a lot of guys from the 90s, I would say, and 80s, I actually went back and watched, because a lot of stuff nowadays, they use psychology, but it's they stretch it and they change things up a lot. So, you know, you might get different flavor depending on who you're watching. So
going back and watching those heels, like you said, in the 90s, the Ted DiBiase's and the Ric Flairs, those guys that were leading the match, and those were really, you know, like you said, masters of the craft of that.
Mm-hmm.
Let me ask you, I know that if you learned in Mississippi, you didn't learn the TV way. So how hard was it for you to wrestle on television? Because television wrestling is so much different than arena wrestling.
Right. Television wrestling does have a few rules that they don't teach you when you're out here in the so to speak wilderness of the indies. You know, it's kind of a free for all out here. You know, guys just do what they want. But once you're in front of TV, there's different rules, camera angles, and things that you need to pay attention to, not just doing what you're doing in the ring. So all that I had to learn, and it had to be right there. You couldn't just think about it on the fly, because it will definitely show that you're thinking, you know. And even with a mask on, you can see I'm thinking. So all that stuff had to come like this, and just a lot of it was body language and just playing towards cameras, you know. I think I heard Cody and or Austin talk about it. There's about 3 cameras out there. Somebody will find me, you know. But that's not exactly what we are taught working TV, it's actually to play towards the camera at all times, facial expressions, etc., etc. So yeah, it's definitely a different monster.
And as many like flips and off the top rope and stuff that do you ever kind of get turned around and you're like, where the hell is the hard camera? I forget, you know what I mean? Just kind of lose your bearings about where you are in the ring a little bit because you're doing so much. Not really.
So, sometimes I'm always aware of where that hard cam is, but in the midst of a scuffle and a fight, especially with the physicality sometimes that a match can bring, might like that sometimes I might get my bell rung, and I'm like, and I'm just out of sorts, so sometimes I kind of, if I see that I'm out of place, I have to redirect body language just to get in front of that camera. But yeah.
So how did the mask come about?
Oh,
I mean,
man.
Is that I mean, because I'm not gonna lie, I'm sitting there like, how does he see? I mean, I would be, but I'm just saying.
Hey, this is my good side. This is my good
Is that
side.
your good side?
Yeah. So the mask. Listen, if you told me I was going to be in the wrestling business, I never would have thought that I would be wearing a mask. Never in a million years. Never. I'm not conceited, but I don't think I'm a bad looking guy. I never thought that I would need a mask. But
he's dreamy, y'all.
Stop it.
I've never met a dude from New York that didn't think he was a good looking guy.
I was talking to somebody else about that the other day. I said, man, it's just guys from New York that just all cocky. It just comes with it. You know what I mean? It is what it is. But yeah, the mask. So when I broke into business, the promoter for Pro Wrestling Eagle, the promotion I broke in with, he told me, hey man, since you're training, we want to put a mask on you and use it as training wheels. All right. So if you have any bad matches, any botches or whatever the case is while you're learning, no one knows who you are. Okay. You can just do what you want, free to do what you need. And then once you get good, take it off, do what you want to be, do what you want to do. So I was like, all right, fair enough. You gave me life, so to speak. I will do exactly what you want me to do. Awesome. And so I put on the mask and I started wrestling these shows around Mississippi. And, oddly enough, I feel like I was getting over, the crowd were getting louder and louder when they saw me. And I'm like, man, I think this mask is working, it's doing me wonders right now. I was like, I don't know if I should take it off. I'm doing pretty well with it. So I just kept running with it. If it's not broke, don't fix it. Right.
Right.
That's where it comes from. Then after that, I got a second mask, then a third, and then I started changing colors. And
well, that's what I was going to follow up with that. How do you decide on your colors and your designs?
So for the longest time, I was stuck on red. All right, everything was red, black, gold, white, and I had a meaning behind the colors. But then after a while, I'm like, you know what? Everyone's wearing red. I'm sick and tired of it. So now I vow never to wear red again. But and then I learned that I look much better with colors. So brighter colors, the blue, the yellows, the pinks. And so I kind of transitioned into that kind of stuff. So yeah, I just try to mix it up and keep it fresh. And
I love that iridescent. That is cool.
So how is you probably have a pretty good relationship with the person that makes your mask. You want to give him a shout out?
Yeah. Jerry Lopez. I know he's not watching this because he's in Mexico.
Yeah.
But saludos. Gracias.
All right, man. He does a hell of a job. If you guys are watching on our video, the picture that they got up there, that is a cool ass mask. Right?
Did he make your Predator gear?
No, he did not. I have another individual out of Mexico who made that, but
his Predator gear is badass.
But long story short, this is the second guy. That guy, he's actually doing work for guys on SmackDown now, so I stopped going to him. The first guy who started making my gear, who's phenomenal, and he got grabbed up by Phoenix and Pentagon, so I had to stop using it as well. So all my gear guys, man, they getting picked up by the big guys in the company, so I got to keep finding new ones, So
did you use Clint Stevens?
Who?
Clint?
No.
Okay.
I do want to say shout out to JD Hoop on those sweet ass Street Profits things that he designed last week on Raw or SmackDown. Those were cool. Our
Yeah,
buddy,
right.
we got a buddy that's doing some designing too, and he does a lot for them.
I've got a
Oh,
buddy
yeah?
I got a buddy at AEW, so that's why I was asking if it was Clint.
Okay, I think I've seen his work. It's phenomenal.
I love that you are with the mask. It's very different with the colors. Yes, the strings on the back. Like you have a huge presence when you come into the ring, and I love that you have masks for sale. You know, like at that, and so people can get a mask if they want. Yes, all
Yeah,
the different things. I mean,
man.
nothing looks the exact same. Like it is all very ornate, very different. You know, like you said, the Predator. This is what you have on today. I think it's refreshing, even in the independence, that you are such an individual with like I said, you have a huge presence when you come out. Not only the music, the colors, the different masks. I mean, it's a huge presentation, and that really counts. When you're coming in and doing stuff.
What a
I
lot
know
of
if
people don't realize about masked wrestlers is that they have to be larger than life because you can't see their faces.
Right, definitely.
So I was going to ask you, how long after you started did somebody tell you that had to work with you on how you sold because of wearing a mask? You can't tell.
No, believe it or not, no one ever told me that. I had to learn that on my own, listening to other guys who wore masks speak about these kind of things on podcasts or seminars. When I first broke in, I would type in seminars on YouTube and watch them, But yeah, I learned that you had to sell with your body because no one can see this,
Right.
So that believe it or not, that gets you even more tired. Just stretching your legs out, arms, body, chest, just your breathing, just to show everyone what's going on. And that takes more energy than just using your face. So it's a little more work. Excuse me. That's why I tell guys who want to wear masks, they come up to me and they tell me, I'm like, hey man, just understand it's a whole different beast. It's not like what you already been wrestling like. So if you put on a mask, just understand if you want to be really good, it's going to take a whole transformation. I tell guys that all the time. I hope they don't think that I'm just telling them not to wear the mask, but that's what it is,
Yeah. I know this. If 10-year-old slapdick Justin would have went to a Rey Fury show and he was selling those masks, I'm buying that son bitch. And I bet you sell a lot to those little boys and stuff that come each night to see you.
Yeah, I do. I got a lot of replica masks, and I got about when I get them made, I got about 10, 11, 12 different colors, different flavors, just for everyone. They can choose what they like. And the guy who makes my mask, he makes those replicas, so they're top-notch quality. They're nothing cheap. They're gonna last. I actually took a few replicas for myself because I thought they were so cool, and I wore them a few times in matches. No one can tell the difference, That's how good they look. So, yeah, I try to give everyone a bang for their buck. I try not to be, half-ass anything. Excuse my language.
Oh, you're
No,
fine.
no.
And the cool thing about yours is it's unique in the fact that, like Amy said, the things in the back, man. Anything to make it unique, you definitely have a uniqueness to it, and I love it. I think
Yes.
it's awesome.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, like I said, I try to put a lot of effort and thought into everything I do, everything, and I just hope that it comes across when I actually present myself, on the weekend.
This is a good question from Darren Staley. Back in his day, there was always a big deal about who would unmask the masked wrestler. Is that still a thing? Has Rey ever been unmasked in the ring? He has. And the commissioner of BIW, Professor Nick Harrison, shout out to Nick, actually got his head got Rey covered up. I was in the process of taking my ref shirt off.
Yeah.
To cover him up.
Didn't happen.
Oh yeah.
Thank you, Professor.
Professor saved him from seeing.
Today, people would have ran out of there.
Yeah, then I would have been nicknamed the Pot-Bellied Avenger.
So what happened? What happened?
I know what happened. There was
Tried
a
to do
pretty
it.
at the beginning of the show. Ray saw a hot girl, and he's like, "I want to get unmasked tonight so she can see this." That's what.
Oh my God.
No, that was Ace Austin, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was my match with Ace Austin from Impact, and after the match, he went to shake my hand. Silly me, thinking good sportsmanship, and he dropped me on the head with a brain buster and then took off my mask in the middle of the ring.
Did you get your revenge?
I won the match, but No.
And he
So
hasn't been back yet.
think about that.
It was like
He hasn't been
Hoobie.
back yet, but he left with his mask.
Yeah, and but the commissioner ran in with a towel, covered my head up. Thank God he was there. Can't have anyone.
Yes, Professor.
Yeah, because I'd been sweating a lot. You were really not going to be happy with that referee shirt on your head.
I kind of wish that the guy wouldn't have came out now so we could have that video of Dave taking his shirt off and putting Ray.
No kidding.
on.
Well, I mean, all I could think is, oh shit, they took his mask off.
Right. Well, but you were being that was good. I mean, you were attempting to do something. It was the wrong thing to do, but you were attempting to do something.
Hey, I've been in the locker room with the locker room veteran John Saxon, and I heard John Saxon tell him, "You need to quit wearing that mask. You're too damn good looking for it."
Yeah. I get that a lot. I think about in 2021, maybe I was at a crossroads where I was really torn, and I was like, maybe if I haven't made it to the big dance with this mask, I'm like, maybe this is not, what's for me, I was just going through a crisis, and I was just insecure and questioning myself, like if this was the way, because every time I get behind the doors of a big promotion of a AEW or a WWE, they always tell me to take it off and it's not necessary and they won't use it, so it always messed with me mentally, because I'm like, what do I do? Is if they don't want me to use it, should I invest in something else and not use this? So that brings me to, I got a little story. So I met Scott Hall at NXT in Orlando, and this is before he passed away, obviously, and we were watching the matches there. He's hilarious, man. I'm a huge Scott Hall fan. I don't know if you guys knew this. I idolized him growing up, but so it was just amazing just to watch matches with him. And I asked him, I said, hey, man, when I come here, they don't use me with the mask. What should I do? Should I take it off? And he's like, well, kid, are you booked every weekend? I'm like, yeah. He's like, all right, you making money? I'm like, yeah. Don't take it off. And so I was like, okay. So I just kept running with it, But I still something that I think about to this day. I would like to try something without the mask one day if the opportunity was right. No offense to any independent promotions out there, but I would like to do it on a bigger scale, maybe like TV. Nothing out here, maybe where somewhere where I can get the most eyes on it and make the most sense.
I don't think it's anything against you either. I think WWE is one of those companies that don't want to compete with their stars. If you notice, you don't see any masked wrestlers other than Rey Mysterio because they want to keep it on Rey Mysterio.
Right.
So I don't think that's a slight toward you. I just think that's their stance on it overall. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
What is this?
Man, that's a good picture. Wow, I forgot that picture.
Oh, is this the Predator outfit?
Yeah, I bet you that was taken at the Hideaway.
That's not the Predator outfit.
What is this?
Oh no, that's at a school.
That's at a school, yeah. Man, I still got that jacket. Wow. That's when I was going through my red phase and I just wore nothing but red. And if you can see, if you go back to that picture, what I love about that picture, there's a kid directly in front of me with my mask on.
It's kind of giving me Great Muta vibes a little
bit.
Right
there. You see it in the blue?
Oh, I see him. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, how cute.
That's awesome. Yeah. But so it's just something I've always been torn with. But like I said, if it's not broke, I don't fix it. I feel like I'm doing well with it. It's I'm just grateful for as far as I got with this mask, and hopefully, we can take it even further.
It's working for you. I can't imagine you without it now.
I got a question from our chat. Allison Faye says, what is your thoughts on wrestlers who wear a mask to the ring and then take it off when they get to the ring?
I don't know. It's a little weird. I feel like it's a trend and it's pretty cool now. I think it'll fizzle out, but it's always, I don't know.
Marketing opportunity?
Maybe, I think if it makes sense, cool, do it, but I see it sometimes and I'm like, why? I don't get it sometimes. You know, there's one guy who comes out with a cat mask and then he takes it off, but the cat has nothing to do with his gimmick or his moniker. I'm like, why? Uh, what was that for? You know,
He doesn't even shit in the litter box.
no.
What the hell?
There's another guy, Andrade. He does it. He wears a mask. It's a cool mask. It looks like a skull kind of, but he used to
Yeah.
wear a mask. He used to be a mask wrestler. So I kind of get that.
Right.
You know, and there's O'Shea Edwards. He wears a Keiju mask, but he calls himself the Big Bad Keiju. So I understand that part. You know, that's awesome. And if that translates into merch and you can get some sales off of selling like Keiju masks, that's awesome. Stuff like that is cool. But when other guys just do it just to do it, I'm like,
It's
why? You know,
the mask that O'Shea wears is a lot like a kabuki mask.
okay,
Uh-huh.
yeah. But
But the Mil Mascaras used to wear a cover. I mean, he wore a mask and he would take it off, and he had his mask.
mhm.
I mean, he wore a mask on top of a mask to
Mhm.
come
Yeah.
to the ring. So
Yeah, when I wear the Predator outfit, when I used to at least, I had the Predator helmet on top of my mask. And talk about hard to see, you know. But
I always like that gimmick when someone lost a match to get unmasked and then they had another mask underneath the mask. I love that.
that's a good idea. Good idea.
We're gonna have to find some pictures of the Predator outfit.
hey,
I want to
I'm
see
surprised
that.
he didn't kill himself walking down the stairs at the Hideaway wearing that thing.
Oh
Oh
man,
my gosh, I could. Yeah.
I walked super slow, so yeah.
I
Yeah,
almost
I mean,
fell
if
down
you
the
think
stairs
about it,
doing that rumble that night. I almost fell down the stairs, and then I tripped getting in the ring.
Terry Weaver had the point. There's a long history of people doing that. I mean, we know Vader come down with the big elephant mask, and I don't know how he didn't fall with that damn thing on his head, but it's kind of been a thing over the years, but not necessarily lucha libre mask.
Oh yeah.
It was heavy.
Oh,
Oh my gosh. Look at
Jesus.
that thing.
Yeah, that Predator helmet I got is pretty heavy. When I take it off, I'm relieved. You know, I got like spikes on it and whatnot. It's got a little laser on the side. I stopped wearing it, but I was always a huge Predator fan. Loved
Uh-huh.
Predator. And actually, for my first mask design, I sent a picture of Predator. I said, "Hey, can you do something like this?" I didn't like the design, but I did like the tassels, so I just ran with that.
I
Mhm.
like it.
Little,
Yeah, that makes
A
perfect
little
sense.
homage to the
yeah,
Predator.
Dave,
little.
when you held up that Vader thing, I just remember I waited on Vader in college. He sat at my table, and all I could see was that damn elephant mask that you just showed. I was like, scared as a
Oh,
in
he showed
college
me-
thinking about the elephant mask.
He showed me he showed me where they loaded it up to have the steam come out of it, and I got nervous because he wanted me to put it on, and I'm thinking this is gonna stink so bad, and it didn't. And I was already nervous meeting him because I didn't know what to expect. I expected him to be an ass, and he wasn't. He was one of the kindest men I've ever met in my life.
Where did you meet him? What was that at?
That was
a
at Legends
Starcast or
and
something?
Charlotte.
Oh, okay.
When I waited on him, he ordered Coors Light with raw egg in it. He wanted a raw egg in every Coors Light that I've served.
Where were you working?
Damon's. Remember Damon's Ribs?
Yes.
I worked
Okay.
there in college. Yeah, and he was
And they-
staying connected to a hotel, and he was staying in the hotel, I think.
And they put the egg in the beer?
Yeah, if Vader asks you to do something, Amy, you do it. All
Well,
right.
I
You think I'm
guess.
gonna tell Vader no?
Yeah, I thought you were gonna lose your mask the other night.
Wow, what
The
happened?
other night, it was untied, and
My mask?
I'm having and the
Oh
way Zane-
yeah,
I had to keep getting Zane because Zane was pulling it like it was like his hair,
yeah.
Oh.
and I thought at one point I got concerned that the mask was going to come off.
Yeah. You know, that happened a lot in the last few matches that I had. I don't know if I'm not tying it, tight enough, but man, some laces get loose, and I'm like, but
Tell us about Zane. How many times? I didn't get the feeling that was the first time you'd met him.
no. So Zane, BTY Stevens, shout out to Zane. I've wrestled him about 3, 4, 5 times now. He's very physical, very snug in the ring. I think he's one of the best guys in the South. He doesn't get his flowers enough, but he's in phenomenal physical condition right now. And, I always love wrestling with him. He hits really hard. So every time I get in there, I got to bring it with him. So.
Yeah, it was my first time seeing him, but it seemed like y'all had a little tension from the get go. So
Yeah,
Was that at BIW? What was that at?
No, that was at Legacy.
Legacy
Legacy.
Championship Wrestling. Yeah, this is
Do you work with a lot of like big guys that are really physical with you, and do you enjoy that more, or would you rather have a more faster up tempo match?
man. I like the fact that I can wrestle every weekend, different guys, different styles. All right. I wrestle a lot of bigger guys mostly all the time, so I'm used to it now. But I love a guy I could wrestle that can actually keep up and you know do some fast things with me, slow it down, do some fast things again, and we could really put on a phenomenal match. So I love that because then I can showcase everything I can do as well. You know, sometimes with a bigger guy, it's more of the more psychology that goes into a match, and and more selling and whatnot. So, depending on the size of the person, depending what kind of match I put together. So if that makes sense.
Have you ever got really heated with a dude for a potato, or do you just roll with it?
Look, it happened maybe once, but I gave it right back.
Okay, that's what you got to do, right?
Look, I don't get mad because I know it's wrestling. I know I'm gonna get hit, but so I don't take it personal at all anytime. But I did take it personal this one time because I not to pull a curtain back too much, I'm laying him in there, but he's laying him maybe double, triple than what I'm doing. I'm like, brother, I'm like, excuse me, do I owe you some money? So I just came back normal strength, but he came back even double. I'm like, what? I'm like, what is happening, bro? I'm like, okay, this is what we're doing. All right, So, but I mean, it is what it is. This ain't ballet. I understand.
Right.
I wake up Sunday mornings and I got marks all over my body. I don't care. It is what it is,
Yeah.
Wherever your travels taking you, I know you recently went to Puerto Rico, didn't you?
I've been to Puerto Rico, yeah. Wrestled over there.
How was that?
So Puerto Rico was good. So over here, we have in the locker room water, Gatorade, energy drinks for the guys.
Oh, you
in Puerto Rico,
shows.
And then in Puerto Rico.
This is Gatorade you're speaking of.
Yeah. Sorry, I exaggerated just a little bit, but in Puerto Rico they had cases of beer and tequila. All right, and, no, not a water bottle in sight. You hear me? So I'm over there getting prepared. I'm stretching. I got my own water bottle. I had to bring my own, and everybody's passing out beer. And so they're like, hey. Take a swig of this. They had a bottle of tequila, and I'm like, no, I'm good. They're like, take this. If you don't take this, you're not Puerto Rican. I'm like, oh man. I'm like, well, bring it here. Let's go.
Damn it! If you're gonna go to the Puerto Rican parade next year in New York, I'll be there.
Oh man, awesome time. So
remember,
they had me
drinking's not cool, but people that do drink are.
Yeah.
Yeah, so in the locker room they had me drinking a little bit, and that's the environment, that's the culture over there. And then the first match of the night, it was a 6-man, like 3 guys busted open, So first match of the night, I'm like, well, damn, that's what I gotta follow.
So was that your first time in Puerto Rico?
That was my first time, yeah.
What did you notice the difference in the fans down there? Because I know they're usually pretty rabid at the wrestling shows.
They love to hate the heels, but they also love baby or heel as long as you put on a good show. As long as you put on a good match, they'll love you. That's a Hispanic crowd for you. As long as you show them that you're awesome, that you're good, they're gonna cheer for you no matter what it is,
So they loved you, didn't they? They loved you. I bet.
Yeah, actually, when I went there, I wore the Predator gimmick, so they was like, "Oh, okay."
Well, yeah, you got to make a good first impression, right?
Right. So they took towards that, and one of the biggest things that I thought was an obstacle was maybe the language barrier, because I know Spanish, I talk Spanish. It's not perfect, it's not fluent, and so when I went over there, I'm like, okay, I don't know how to say a lot of words in wrestling. In Spanish, so I was like, let's see how I can put this together And but when I got there, man, I learned that wrestling is universal. It was super easy, So
They probably had worked with enough guys from up here that they knew wrestling words in English, right?
Probably, yeah, exactly. There was no issues at all, So once I saw that, wrestling is wrestling no matter where you are, I said, man, this is awesome. This is awesome.
Did they throw dollars in the ring down there?
When I was there, they didn't throw dollars at the ring. No. Yeah, and actually, the ring was super far from the actual people. So the people were all in the bleachers, and the ring was maybe like 40 feet away. And it was actually a 6-sided ring. First time I've been in a 6-sided ring. So,
cool.
Yeah.
You plan on going back?
I tried to go back a few times. After COVID, it really messed up a lot down there.
Oh, yeah.
But they do a lot of TV tapings now. So I'm trying to catch a loop where I can do maybe like a few matches and they tape them kind of deal. So I don't just got to go for one Saturday, So that's what we've been talking about. Nothing yet concrete. So we'll see how that goes.
I'm guessing you got pretty creative with that 6-sided ring.
Yeah, it was my first time there. So I was like, kid in the candy store, like, with this, So it did bump a little bit different. It's a little bit stiffer, but, it's all right.
So you went south to Puerto Rico. Where else have you gotten to go?
That's an old picture. Oh, yeah, that's 16
Yeah,
there.
man, that's brand new. That's baby Ray.
Wow.
Right there, isn't it?
Look at that. Wow. That was probably my first year in the business there. Wow. Woo. Man. Wow.
You know what I like though? Even then, he had the little things hanging off the back of his mask.
The tassels, yeah. I had to keep it. Wow, that's insane, man. Where did this come from, man?
Teppy is digging deep back there in the archives, I think.
Yeah, my wife's our producer, so she's back there. She's Googling Rey Fury and
she's finding some stuff on you may not want to know.
She took pictures. She was going back through all the pictures because we also she's always had a Facebook page called Mark Out Moments.
Yes.
So every time that she and my wife doesn't just take a dozen pictures. I mean, for her to take 1,000 pictures at anything, I'm not exaggerating, y'all. And she just upload them into Mark Out Moments, and then the wrestlers could go and they could get pictures that they could use.
Right.
I mean, there's just somewhere for her to photo dump, and everybody had pictures from the events.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you're right. She does take some great pictures.
This is kind of an off-the-wall question, but you being a New York guy, I'm a longtime listener of the Howard Stern Show, so I get a little bit of New York about every day when I'm listening. How has moving to the South been for you? Has that been an adjustment?
Man, look, man, I'm still getting adjusted to this day. Dave, you saw my post the other day about the barbers, man. They get me so upset, all right? Sick and tired of these damn barbers in the South, all right? They get me so mad, so mad. But, and why should I care about who cuts my hair the day before a show? I got to wear a mask. You can't even see what I look like. It doesn't matter, right? That's the diva in me. It doesn't matter, right?
I thought it was a damn fine haircut.
I gotta wear a mask. Does it matter? No, but it gets me upset, Gosh, number one, the barbers.
I was gonna say, tell us the story. I didn't see this. What happened?
All, since I moved here, the barbers, it's so hard to find a good barber. Okay.
Yeah.
Number one, they take so long. They take their sweet time. So sometimes I got to turn around and ask, like, "Hey, are the clippers on? Is it plugged in?" But and then it's just I'm used to New York, where time is money. You get in the chair 20, 25 minutes, in and out, boom, next person. And that's it. But so this last weekend, I didn't like the way it came out. I guess one side didn't look like the other, or he took too much off my face, and I was upset. I was like, whatever. It's all good. I wear a mask. You're lucky. If not, I drop an F-bomb on you. But it is what it is. But So talking about adjusting to the South, that was probably my biggest adjustment. When I moved down here, is just finding a good barber. I got a good barber now. I skipped out on him this week, and I had to pay for it a little bit. But it is what it is. But besides yes, I'm sorry.
No, I was just going to say we're very happy that you're adjusting to our way of life down here. So
I was going to say I think you got Teppy about half hot That's
Yeah.
right.
I got one.
Don't crap on the South around Teppy. She'll go
Hey,
off
I
on
got
you.
one that I like to use, and if I need some skill involved in it, I'll go to her.
Yeah.
But when it's just like give me a fade a 2 to a 4 on the top, and I don't care,
Uh-huh.
just get it off of me. I just go. It doesn't make me any difference.
Yeah.
I mean, how can you mess that up? You can't cut it too short for me. When it's hot outside, I don't care. But in the wintertime, when I want to look pretty, then I'll have to go. I'll go see my girl Heather and get a little skill cut on there.
Right. Yeah. So, I mean, besides that though, the South has been pretty good to me. Get the focus with no distractions here as they are in New York. As you can
Yeah.
imagine, there's so many. Like I used to leave my house in New York maybe 12 o'clock, 1 in the afternoon, and I don't know what I'm gonna get into. I could be back at 8
Right.
o'clock. I could be back at 1 a.m.
Right.
That's just the way it goes. You know, whatever happens, happens. I'm going with the flow. But so here, much more laid back, relaxed, get the focus, do what I have to do, and you know, and
Our
handle my business.
our buddy Shuli Agar, who was on the Howard Stern show, he just moved down to Alabama to hang out with Conrad and those guys, and I think he's enjoying it as well. So,
Well,
you know, it's a little
He-
slower
what he was
pace. I
paying
think
for
when
a-
you're used to the city, you enjoy that. I think.
what he was paying for 800 square feet, now he's got 3,000.
Yeah. And we have someone here in the chat, Darren Staley, who is a longtime listener to the Howard Stern show as well. And he said, and I did listen to the show. If you get a chance to check out his podcast, he actually interviewed Jackie the Joke Man Martling, formerly the Howard Stern show last week, which is really cool. So check that out over
Nice.
there, our
Nice.
buddy Darren.
We'll have to have Darren on. He's incredibly funny in the chat.
Yeah.
I've never
Hey,
known him to be that way in person. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding, Darren.
Hey, because you brought it up. Hey, shout out to Conrad Thompson as well.
Let's
That's
talk
right.
about that.
Yeah.
You recently got to work for him in Huntsville.
Man, yeah. For those who don't know, yeah, we got to Dave was there as well. We got to work. Amy was there as well too. Yep.
I was there.
Top Guy Weekend. We got to work with Conrad Thompson and they're for the premium member subscribers, and we put on a show over there in Huntsville, Alabama, and it's my first time meeting Conrad. It was awesome. Eric Bischoff was there. Road Dogg was there. Jeff Jarrett was there. Yeah, who else was there? I might be missing, but it was
Kevin
an awesome
Sullivan,
Kevin Sullivan. That's
Ricky
right.
Morton.
And
Ricky
Mr.
Morton.
David Crockett was there. We had a who's who. It was
You were talking about
top-
psychology. How great was
Yeah.
that to have them discussing psychology? It was kind of a different show. If you hadn't listened to us before, we talked about it before. But basically, what it was is they had a booking meeting with David Crockett,
Mhm.
Jeff Jarrett, Eric Bischoff, Kevin Sullivan, and
and
Ricky
Ricky
Morton.
Morton. Mhm.
And the crowd, it was kind of like a role-playing game where they would come up with, they formatted the show. The crowd learned how to book a show,
Mhm.
and they booked it with and they picked the winner and made it and pivoted and they made it a title match. And I mean, it was a really neat experience for a small group of people. It was a different experience, but I'm wondering as a talent that's completely different for actually. The one guy that was on your poster begins with a K. He's a monster.
Cruel.
Cruel. Thank you.
Yes.
Sorry I couldn't remember it. It's because I'm old, not because I wasn't impressed with him.
No, you're good.
He came out of the back door and he asked me where the fans on the side of the building. And I was like, no, it's clear, but I mean, you just showed them how we showed them how we made the sausage. So does it really matter today?
What
So
I really liked about the booking, or just being there, number one, that was the greatest weekend ever. What I really liked is how there was an idea that was pitched, and then everybody kind of talked about everybody, meaning the gentleman in the ring, Jeff Jarrett, Eric Bischoff, Kevin Sullivan, those gentlemen, and how they bounced things off and said, well, think about it this way, or what if you did this, or I was thinking that. And it's just, it really is a committee in a sense, and they will say that too. It wasn't just one person's idea of something, it was everybody's. And so that was really cool to kind of watch, like you said, a match. Well, let's see here. We've got five baby faces, 5 heels. How many matches do we want? And if we make this, and like I said, that was really cool. Did you all get to hear any of that, Ray? Or I didn't know if you had arrived by then. Uh, did you get to hear any of the booking committee as they were talking about who was going to be wrestling who?
A little bit of it. Once they asked some of the talent to get to the ring, I got to hear a lot from Jeff Jarrett when he put together my match and talk it over with some of the fans that were there. So I got to hear that part, but not as the whole card. No, I did not. But yeah, it was cool the way they put it together though, and they had everybody put their input onto it. And I think you were involved in my match as well. I think you hung my neck on the bottom rope.
Well, I was I was a manager for the other team. I had to make
Right.
sure that my guys shone very well, and this little thing, like the whole thing was as a true show, and I think we voted for it to be like a live, like a TV show, or
Right.
and
Mhm.
so being in the back, I mean, it was time cues where, people were talking. I mean, it was exactly like you would, I assume, that
Mhm.
I would see it in the back. And I will say, that was really fun it wasn't fun to choke you. Let me rephrase this. It was really fun to get
She's
involved.
lying.
It was really fun to get involved. And Adam Priest and let me think, Jacobs, was his name Adam too? Yes. Both of those were the guys, and they were so nice. They wanted to make sure I was okay, and make sure that I didn't get hurt. And I said, "That's so nice. You're worried, making sure I'm okay." And they were having, a great match. Like, oh, that's not. I did not.
She
Well, maybe.
was. She had a lot of fun, and I got a story about that. Yeah, yeah.
Uh-oh.
I'm not surprised. Look, hey, real quick, I was in Alabama. We was having like a 8-man tag match, and I got cut off. Boom, they start putting some heat on me. Man, you should have seen this. I don't know how it came across to the guys in the first row watching, but these guys, once they saw Rey Fury was on the floor, it was like open season. You hear me? They was tagging in and out, coming in there, boom, boom, suplex. Next guy, giving me the boobs, boom, suplex. Another guy coming in there, big elbow, big. It was just going to work on me. It was like I felt as if like, oh, they finally getting their licks on me, huh? It was open season. I'm like, you guys, it was hilarious. So when you say that, I'm like, yeah, she loved it. She's like, yes, my chance to choke Fury. I won't
Well,
get to do this again.
exactly. Well, and I can't say that I am used to that adrenaline, and I may have swung or hit too hard. I don't know. I apologize at this point, but it was so fun. I'm so glad you got to be part of it, because that was cool, because then I was going to get to see you again in a week. So that was really neat too. I enjoyed that a lot.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Let me ask you, how many titles have you had now?
Oh man, how many altogether? I don't know.
It's been a bunch.
It's been a bunch. But right now, currently, I'm holding the Bayou Independent Deep South Heritage title, and I'm having the time of my life with this run. Let me tell you, man. Shout out to Bayou Independent Wrestling. They keep lining up some top tier talent for me, and I'm having some awesome matches on a monthly basis for them. So I really appreciate it. I really get to show my worth and really throw it down with some awesome guys, whether they're from Louisiana, Texas, Florida. Like we said earlier, Ace Austin, Caleb Conley, Matt Taven. I've been having some really awesome matches this year. So that belt has brought me a lot of joy in carrying it. And I also have the Pro Wrestling Elite Championship title as well. We were running out of Pensacola for a while, and then we did a show out there in Homa, I believe it was.
Yeah, I've worked with you in Homa before.
Yeah.
Oh,
and
they're going to start calling him Ray Two Belts.
I got a
I miss
picture.
going to Homa.
I had a picture if they can pull it up, probably I had about 5 belts at one time. I was feeling like Ultimo Dragon in his prime.
He had
I'll
one
tell
that
you-
was patterned after the Mid-South North American, that great big huge one.
Oh Lord.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, he was sleeping with it.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. Pull up that picture. I had it in bed with me with the satin sheets.
I will say I love that outfit right there. The color scheme, the blue and gold looks awesome.
Yes.
That's his Wolverine gear.
Back to the Conrad
like
thing
it.
for a minute.
Yeah.
This last Top Guy weekend was the first one I hadn't been to. Sorry I missed you. It looked like a ton of fun. But I just wanted to, I know we have a lot of guys here in the chat that are top guys with Conrad, been around a long time. What was your experience with Conrad's group of fans? Because they are kind of a more, I don't know, intellectual fan that listens to Conrad every week. And what was your experience with all of those guys?
They showed love. They showed a lot of love, man. I have nothing bad to say about them. They were awesome. I didn't know what to expect, to be honest with you. Because I know they're spread out from all across the country.
Right.
Some guys came from out of the country as well.
Ireland. Our buddy
Ireland.
Adam come from
Yes.
Ireland.
Yeah. So, just like me and maybe some of the guys in the locker room, I didn't know if they were going to necessarily know who we were familiar with our movesets or our names at all. So, that was interesting to go in there and see how they played and how they reacted off me. But yeah, they showed a lot of love, man.
Have you got a bunch of following from them since and interaction, I guess, with them online?
A little bit, yeah, a little bit on Twitter after the whole weekend was over with, yeah. And I just wish I had like a long match to actually showcase my skills and do everything that I can do, But it's okay. It was for what it was. It was an awesome experience.
I'm getting no end of shit in the chat for calling them intellectual. I'm sorry. A group of slapdicks is what I meant to say. I apologize.
Kristen Newell. Hi, Kristen. Thanks for joining us. She says that we are blessed to have you at BIW and sorry that Amy wants to choke you.
Only when I'm managing my guys and he's the.
Hey, Miss Newell. It's not the first or the last a woman wanted to choke me. All right.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too, but I didn't say it. Yeet, yeet.
2 times because I ain't never lie.
Silly. What do you have upcoming? What kind of do you have any? Are you going to be defending your title anytime soon?
Actually, yes. I actually gonna be defending my title in November versus Adam Priest. He was there for Top Guy weekend.
That's my guy. No, not Adam Priest. No, Corey Hollis and Adam Jacobs were my guys. Because
Gotcha.
Adam Priest was with Cruel, right?
Yes.
Okay. Sorry, Corey.
Yes. But I'll be wrestling Adam Priest. He's killing it right now, and I knew him for a long time since I broke in. So it's awesome that we get to have one-on-one match. So looking forward to that. Also, little exclusive here. I'm gonna be going this week. What is today? Today is Wednesday. Next week, Monday and Tuesday, I'm gonna be heading up to Tennessee to some NWA tapings.
Oh, cool.
So, hey, it doesn't mean anything. Anything. All right. I'm just throwing it out there. But I know, man, I think I know maybe about 50 to 60% of the roster. So, finally, one of the guys was just like, hey, man, just come up here to the tapings and see how we do things and check it out. And, we'll try to put in a good word and see if we can get you a match, and just be you and show them what you got. And I'm like, awesome. I'll definitely go up there. If I get a match, great. If not, I'll just get to mingle and hang out with the guys up there. So I'm looking forward to that and seeing what kind of opportunities that can bring. So excited, really excited about that.
That's awesome.
Got another big defense coming up in September.
Oh, yeah.
There it is.
There it is.
There it is.
That is a belt and a half.
Sheets to lie on.
There's your picture for April in the Fury calendar.
hey, as you can tell, we had a long night.
That actually ought to be the February picture, Valentine's Day.
The best part about it, he's sleeping in the mask. That's the best part. Never give up the gimmick.
But back to what I was saying, you have a pretty big defense coming up in September.
Yeah, September.
50 caliber Barrett Brown.
Yes, sir. Over here for BIW, Bayou Independent Wrestling, I'm going to be defending that Deep South Heritage title against 50 cal Barrett Brown. He's done some work with New Japan. He's been, I think he was the junior heavyweight championship for NWA at one time.
He was the last one before Billy bought it.
Yeah. So, you know, he definitely can go. So I definitely look forward to stepping in the ring with him because we have never touched. So definitely looking forward to that. Yeah. Never, ever touched. So
if you guys are watching with us, there's a new picture here. Is this a little bit of a tribute to Ultimo Dragon? Because that's the vibe that I'm getting with that kind of vest thing there.
Oh, with the vest? So that I kind of drew on a piece of paper. I love kind of like, you know, the shoulder shape of it. But if you can see, I put 2 F's on it.
Yeah, like a mirrored F.
I got you.
Yeah, like a mirrored F. So that's
it kind of looks like that, what, you know, Ultimo used to wear coming to the ring a little bit.
Yeah, so I wanted to do like some type of F in my, you know, entrance attire. I came up with that, and I was like, I actually have a collar with it. It's removable. I don't wear the collar too much. I don't like it.
So do you just draw up these ideas and give it to your person, or do they kind of help you with the design of it, or how does that work?
Man, it's hard to find guys who actually design gear. So I kind of like, if I have some type of idea, or if I might be watching a TV show or something, and I see something, I'm like, oh man, that would make some awesome gear. I'll probably try to draw something, a sketch, and then I'll send it to another guy that I have who does some design work, and he'll kind of like master it, you know? And so I'll just go from there. Like, if you look at all my entrance attires since I broke in, none of them were the same. None of them. They're all different because I just try to try something different every time just to keep it fresh. So that's kind of how I approach those kind of things.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. All right. Well, if you ever need oh man, I'm looking at the pictures now. I like it.
I just can't believe how big these belts are down there. They're crazy.
No kidding.
Look at how huge that thing is.
So on that post, it says Elite Elsa. I named all my titles, okay?
Oh.
That title on the far right, on the top right, that was Elite Elsa, the Elite champion.
Who'd you beat for that one?
Was that?
Who'd you beat for that one?
That one I beat Zane Stevens in Pensacola.
Okay.
And that's the Predator mask, right?
No, it's not.
Oh, it looks like a Predator kind of to me.
You'll see it. And when you see it, you'll know. Trust me.
There ain't no doubt.
All right.
And then the one on the far left that's Big Belt Betty.
Big Belt Betty.
That's Betty. Hey, Betty's a big girl, you know.
Hey, big girls need loving too, Ray.
I love Betty. I love Betty. You know, I had her in bed with me with the satin sheets. You know, there's a picture of me and she's in my passenger seat with the seatbelt on. You know, I take Betty with me everywhere. You know, so yeah.
I like that.
I can see Betty riding in the grocery cart, like the whole thing.
Exactly.
Well, do we want to take this thing home? We don't want to take up all Ray's night, but we certainly appreciate him being on here with us.
We sure do. Ray, thank you so much. I can't thank you enough for coming on our show tonight.
Thank you. No, man. Thank you guys. It was a lot of fun. Always a lot of love, man. Look at Dave.
I know.
Dave is mean mugging that thing. Look at that. That is fantastic.
We're all mean mugging. You just can't tell because Fury got a mask on.
Well, he's doing what he's supposed to do. He's selling with his body. Look at it.
Exactly.
Me and Caleb got it, though.
And certainly, Ray, whenever you win the AEW championship or WWE championship, we hope you come back on here and join us.
Always, of course.
All right.
Tell everybody where they can find you, right? Because
yep.
your socials, somebody must have squatted on your regular ones because I had never found you.
So on Twitter and Instagram, Rey Fury Official, Facebook, Rey Fury with 2 Y's. Don't ask me why. Facebook is weird. But and on YouTube, The Fury Factory, you can type me up. I'm always uploading matches to there. And I also got some Slam Buddies dropping this week. Finally getting some Rey Fury Slam Buddies.
Hell yeah.
I pre-ordered about 12, 13 already, so I'm only going to have maybe 16 left. If you need them, please reach out to me or go to my Big Cartel store and grab you up a Slam Buddy. Yeet.
Seriously,
share
go
that on
watch
our
some Ray
socials.
Fury matches. Look at this picture. Look at the extension on that frog splash right
It's,
there.
well, it's not a
Exactly.
frog splash. He
What is
drops
it?
the froggy
He's good.
elbow. Tell us about
I'm
that.
sorry.
Good
Yeah.
elbow.
What made you decide to do a froggy elbow instead of a frog splash?
So believe it or not, you're not gonna hear this from everyone. I was a huge D'Lo Brown fan growing
There
up.
we go.
I love the head movement, the running power bomb, the sky high, everything he's doing, and the frog splash. So I took that frog splash, that form was from actually D'Lo, and then I just turned it into an elbow. And that was in training when I first started. So I figured I was like, hey, nobody's doing that. I thought it was different.
That's awesome.
It looks
Yeah.
devastating. I was like, I'm running with it. So I've just been using it ever since. And then when Mark Briscoe was put on AEW TV, I got texts from everyone in the world. Like, hey, he just did the froggy elbow. I'm like,
He's stealing my gimmick, damn it.
I'm like, I know. I think he's been doing it. His extension is not like mine. It's a smaller little pump. It's different, but it's all good.
You
Oh,
know
we got a
what?
picture.
Once again, it goes back to unique. That's a move that I've never seen. I've never seen the froggy elbow. That's and you've got to be different. And I'll give you that, Ray. You certainly excel at that.
Definitely. And I was going to say, in that move where you like, oh gosh, you're jumping up and your shins are on the top rope. Like instead of jumping over the top rope, your shins are on the top rope and you flip over.
Right.
I probably didn't explain that at all.
No,
again,
uh-huh.
that is a move. Again, you're expecting you just to go on over, but yet you let your shins kind of like give you that little extra bounce up off the rope. And again, like Justin said, that's unique. That is, you're not going to kind of glaze over your match because you really don't know what you're going to do. And so I think that's, like you said, that's cool. And that makes people really want to keep their eye on you because you're doing all these little unique things that they don't always get to see. So,
right.
And I think it's creativity, but it's also hard work because it's lazy to say, oh, I'm going to make a DDT my finisher. Well, that was Jake Roberts' finisher in 1986 and everyone's seen it. Now no one uses it as a finisher. So I think I think it's lazy. And for you, it's the exact opposite. Someone that is saying, let me do something that no one has seen before.
Well, and I kind of, not to take too much more of your time, I know you guys was trying to wrap it up, but it's like being out here in the jungle, man, everyone's doing a lot of the same moves. So if I know all my stuff is different, I don't got to worry about the guy in front of me doing what I'm going to do. You know what I mean?
Right.
My moveset is my moveset. I don't have to worry about someone hitting the same thing I am. You
don't have to worry about someone using your finisher as a non-finisher 2 matches before your match. You know what I mean?
Yeah, really.
Exactly. So that's where that mindset comes from. Do something that I know nobody's going to be able to copy in the next match. So,
yeah.
You're doing a good job.
We certainly certainly appreciate you coming on here with us and spending all this time with us. It's been fantastic. We've learned a lot. You've been very insightful. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much, guys.
You got an open invitation. If you ever want to come back on, you got something going on you want to tell everybody about, we're here for you.
All right.
The door is always open.
I appreciate it.
For the great Rey Fury, for the First Lady of the Arn Anderson Fan Club, Miss Amy Vaughn. For Pondwater, he's got a timeout. What are we doing next week, Dave? I forgot to say that.
Oh, next week we got Mike Bober. Mike Bober was a high bidder on a charity event. So it's the Mike Bober show next week. So we're going to talk wrestling. We're going to talk hockey. But we want to thank everybody that's gone. We've had a huge increase in subscribers to our YouTube, but we're not where we want to be. We hope that if you're listening to this on the audio, go over to YouTube and give us a subscribe for us, please. We're really trying to push those subscribers up on YouTube, but we can't thank you enough for that. It's easy to find now at PWD Pod. www.pwdpod.com will take you to our YouTube channel.
And all the up
and made it easy for you.
It'll take you to everything else too, right, Dave? Twitter and all that. Yeah.
If you need me to open my robe and tell you the champ is here.
Oh.
We'll let you know how that helped our numbers or not.
This right here is what tells Teppy who's Big Daddy in the house right now.
Oh,
Not,
think
it's not a
Oh.
big Betty, but it'll do, I guess.
listen, Teffy's going over tonight. She's winning the championship. I guarantee it.
Ain't nobody
Dave's-
believing I got Big Betty.
Dave's gonna have to. He's gonna have to name that title.
Uh-oh.
I'm trying, Teffy. Dave won't let me. She said, shut us down. Well, like I said, for the great Rey Fury and for Amy Vaughn and for the damn Pondwater Dave, my name is Justin Davis saying, take care of yourself and each other. So long, everyone.
Yeet.